All right. We thank you all for joining us this day of your time. There is much we are excited to explore with you. This transmission is called The One Are the Many, and the Many Are the One. There is the being on your planet that you call Jesus, also known as Yeshua, also known as Yeshua, also known as, in English, Jesus Christ. Now, the reason we are mentioning the many names of this being is because it was a deception when your species was told that Christ was one person. But it is not a full deception. It is a riddle. Because Christ represents the heart. The heart is the universal key that connects all people and all realities. It is the heart that is what you call the rainbow bridge. And as you open your heart, you can walk across the rainbow bridge to whatever parallel reality, frequency of space and time you say you prefer. The rainbow bridge vibrates with each signature frequency, color, spectrum. What this means is each color that you perceive to be separate, when blended in the rainbow, operates as one color. It is Christ in that way. That is what you call the rainbow warrior that is talked about in some of your native prophecies. In addition to this, it is the Christ that also shows up when you see what you call the flag of pride, the rainbow flag. These people that you call these people are here to assist you in becoming more like Christ. Remember, it is the rainbow bridge that allows for all people to connect with one another. Now, many people, when the Christ shows up, do not understand whom the Christ is, so they attempt to crucify the Christ. And that is why what you call your ancient epidemics occurred. They were attempts to eradicate the Christ. But the Christ hid itself in different people, in different bodies, in different realities, in different worlds, in different parallel reality frequency versions of Earth. This open heart energy, this rainbow bridge that you call the Christ, spread itself far and wide like a holographic sliver. Each little slice of the hologram contains the entire picture, contains the entire puzzle. And if you put all of those slivers back together, you solve what you call the matrix. You solve what you call your sense of delusion. For that is what the matrix is. Illusion is your magic. It is what you use to create. Delusion is when you borrow magic power from someone else without understanding the cost. And a person then ends up in a house of mirrors. So Christ represents, the Christos represents, using the heart to connect to others, knowing you have all the power that you need to fulfill whatever you consider to be your natural original path that amplifies and nourishes what you call your signature frequency. That's the power of the Christ. And that is why we say Christ is one and many. And that is why we say the many is the one. Remember that all things we say are a code. Please understand this. This will satisfy your intellectual mind. Your intellectual mind may be hungry for things. And perhaps it is very critical in how it observes neutral information. So remember, feed the beast within voluntarily, or that beast within will come out. And that is what Christ attempted to say when he said, if you do not let what is in you out, it will destroy you. These are the words of Yeshua. You can find this if you actually read the Magician's Manual. But many people do not read the Magician's Manual because it represents being burned at the stake. Many of you have heard in your ancient past of people whom were crucified for being themselves, whom were burned alive for being themselves. And those of you whom were crucified, those of you whom were burned alive, have an aversion to all symbology that is related to what you would call the Christos. Understand that that is intentional. Remember, demons are made to look scary, so humans never work with them. That's another riddle. So we will leave you with that riddle, and we bid you all an honorable, glorious day full of respect and wisdom that honors you, your ancestors, your descendants, and all of your relations.